Hey guys, the trailer for Shadows of Change just dropped, and I'm really excited to see who's going to be the legendary Lord for Tzeentch, also with Cathay and Kislev, but I really believe it's going to be Egrimm Van Horstmann. Let's see if I'm right. Oh wow, what is that? Oh, it is the Changeling. Okay, I was wrong, but... Oh, what are these? They're like shaman. Mother will stank you. Oh, I think that's a Leshy. Oh. Okay, what the crap was that? She's on a sled, and yeah, that's definitely a Leshy. Oh, so they're gonna pit her against Kislev. That's pretty interesting. The Onyx Crowmen. Luanbo, the Jade Dragon. He looks awesome, by the way. Oh, great weapon. Cathay Infantry. That's a cold Hellras, definitely. Oh, what is this? That's a brand new... Yeah, that's a brand new unit. That's not on Tabletop. Oh, and the Blue Scribes. That's going to be the paid legendary here, I'm going to guess. The Mutilix Vortex Beast. Oh, wow, he looks awesome. I love that. I'm trying to remember what his sword is called. The Changeling. I was wrong, but that's pretty awesome. Ooh, see when it comes out? August 31st. Okay, so I think that's a Thursday, so that's the last Thursday of August. Ooh. I'm really excited if you guys can't tell. Okay. Slowly and kind of check things off. Yeah, so there's the Changeling. So these are definitely like shaman units. Because the lore of like the hags and things like that is all about controlling spirits of the motherland. Mother was stunk, yeah. The tricksters tricking them. Yeah, and that's a Leshy. I'm very, very excited for this. The thing is huge. Oh, are those werewolves? A sled pulled by werewolves. I didn't see that. Oh, they're not werewolves, but because they've got these big horns, but I wonder what they are. Okay, so I wonder what the Changeling's abilities are going to be, especially in battle, whether she can transform into anything. Then the Onyx Crowman we saw. I didn't see any big new Cathay units besides this guy. So that's the Great Hammer that was shown in the Cathay teaser. But I can't... okay, and then Acold, his name's always hard to remember. Acold Hellras. So he is a Tzeentch champion that, at least in the lore, he wasn't a mage. So that's going to be really interesting what his dynamic is, but he has this magical greatsword that he can actually throw, and it would come back to him like a boomerang. But his big thing is called the Breath of Life, where basically just life sprouts up around him, and it heals him, it heals the enemies, but then he can also be immortal, he can resurrect himself. But I don't know whether that's going to happen. Maybe that gets an ability close to Tyrion's Heart of Avalorn, where it's just a heal when you get to low HP. This is definitely a new unit. Like, not even from tabletop. I don't recognize this at all. Let's get a little closer look at it. Oh, Jade Lions. I'm really, really excited for them. That's a Jade Lion. Oh, yes. And there's the wardrobe that I talked about in the short story. But yes, we're getting Jade Lions too. The Blue Scribes, the legendary hero. Which, that's interesting that Tzeentch is going to get 2 legendary heroes in the same release. And the Mutilex Vortex Beast again. Which technically wasn't a Tzeentch monster, it was part of Undivided, but I'm glad that they're making it monogam. Okay, is there anything else we're going to miss? Alright, I don't think so. I think we got that. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what the Changeling's abilities are going to be, but we get it August 31st. Okay, and let's check Steam to see if it's actually come up now. Nope, nope, not yet. But, so I kind of looked at, I really hope we're going to get Hag Witches, or maybe they're just the Shamans, because Kislev didn't have a lot of lore in the old editions of Tabletop, but they've kind of, Grimm's Workshop has created a lot of them for Total War. They're kind of revamping it for the old world. So I wonder if instead of the Hag Witches, we're going to get Shamans. Because they're all about summoning spirits like the Leshy. Alright guys, the blog also just dropped on the Total War website, and we're going to check that out. 4 new legends approach... Wait, 4? 4 new legends approach that will turn the world of Total War Warhammer 3 on its head. So, what do they mean by 4? They can talk about Egrimm Van Horstmann, because we got Mother Ostankia, we got the Changeling, and we got Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon. So it'll arrive in Total War Warhammer 3 as part of Update 4.0. Okay, we know we're getting... Oh, so 3 Legendary Lords, along with the... Okay, that's the 4 Legends. Along with the Legendary Hero, the Blue Scribes. Which I'm really excited to see how they are implemented, because in the Temple Up in the Lore, they basically just used random spells every time. So I think that'll be lots of fun. Okay, so we're talking about the Changeling. For those looking to throw the rulebook out the window, this trickster boasts a campaign unlike any other. Okay, they'll be back with close looks at Yuan Bo and Mother Ostankia soon. Okay, so this is going to be about Tzeentch then. So the Blue Scribes, riding atop their disc of Tzeentch, the Blue Scribes are a pair of powerful blue horrors. The Tarix and Zeradopt, that's really hard to say. They soar across the mortal and eternal realms, squabbling amongst themselves as they locate fragments of Tzeentch and bind them into parchment. So that goes back to the lore when basically Tzeentch was all magic combined into one, but then after I think he fought with Khorne, he got damaged and basically exploded, and that each little shard became a spell. So they're basically trying to learn every spell and collect them so Tzeentch can be put back together. So with a quill in each hand, handcrafted by Tzeentch's own feathers, Ptahrik scrawls with abandon before passing it off to Zerat, hopefully that's right, who reads the words aloud to check their accuracy, unleashing devastating spells from Lord of Change. Often drawn into battle while searching for hotspots of powerful and destructive magic, the Blue Scribes face many dangers. When threatened, Zerat will read spells at random, trusting his true master to guide his hand towards the correct scroll for the occasion. Though Tzeentch is never truly random, the results can be spectacular, unpredictable, and bizarre. As a wacky caster, this legendary hero grows in power as spells are cast around them thanks to their spell siphon passive. Oh, that's really cool. Meanwhile, their innate ability, Scrolls of Sorcery, grant a random spell selection at the start of the battle. Yes, that's really what I had hoped to see. These are shuffled and randomized once again whenever a spell is cast. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's going to be really, really cool. I was worried about how they're going to present it, but I think that's going to be cool. So the Changeling is the Changer Boy's latest demon of Tzeentch, and perhaps the most cunning. His true form is lost to time, with only Tzeentch recalling his real appearance. This nightmare's commitment to meddling allows him to mirror other legendary characters not just in appearance, but also in personality and mannerisms. Okay, so maybe that's how he's going to be in battle, is he can select like a legendary lord to appear as and fight as. That'd be really cool. So as a lover of conflict, confusion, and discordance, the Changeling uses warfare as a distraction. For those consumed with violence are easily deceived, and when realization finally dawns, it will almost certainly be too late. Okay, so he's pitting Kislev and Mother Ostankia against Kislev and also against the Jade Dragon. So utilizing spells from the lore of Tzeentch, the Changeling claims the form of those he defeats, forms an alliance with through the Formless Horror ability. Okay, so he defeats or forms an alliance, and then he can appear as that legendary lair. That's really cool. You can then pick and choose from this collection over the course of a campaign, mimicking their stats, abilities, spells, and appearance. With a passive ability Cloaked and Cowled, the changeling gains a defensive buff, allowing him to stalk his prey, remaining hidden while on the move and gaining a boost to his ward save. So it's like, what if Scarbrand basically had stalk where you couldn't see him until he was right next to you? That'd be pretty scary, so I think that's going to be cool. That's not all. With the active ability Deceiving Shadows, he can create illusions resembling his natural form that roam the battlefield, toying with your opponent's grip on reality. Oh, so illusions, I'm going to guess that's similar to Alethanar's ability, where he can summon kind of an illusion of himself as well. Trust no one. Okay, so Trickster Cult. So we're getting a cult update, it looks like. The Changeling cares not for settlements of his own. Indeed, he outright refuses to capture any. Oh, instead he infiltrates already established settlements and plants his cult deep within their city walls. After besting a... Oh, turn off my Discord. After besting a settlement in battle, the Changeling may choose to sack or raze what he has conquered, or instead sneak into his cults undetected. From the enemy perspective, he's attacked, taking what he wanted and left as quickly as he disappeared. If only this were true. Now ruling secretly from within, the Changeling may construct either parasitic or symbiotic buildings within a settlement for a variety of benefits, achieving a delicate balance for long-term gain or indulging in short-term chaos. So he's going to be... hopefully this is a great update for cults, because I really want to see Egrimm Van Horstmann, and he's the master of cults, so hopefully we get him eventually as like an FLC or something. Symbiotic buildings can increase the settlement's main income, upping how much treasure can be siphoned from it, and spread propaganda to improve diplomacy and turn factions against one another. So that's kind of already like how the changing of ways with the Grimoires works. But alternatively, parasitic buildings are designed to cripple the host settlement, enabling the spread of corruption in an infiltrated region. Opening rifts for demon armies to ravage the settlement. Okay, that's really, really interesting. I was wondering how rifts, besides with Bellicor, how they might be implemented into the rest of the demons' campaigns. So to ravage the settlement or plundering it from within without the need to siege the city walls. It's worth noting that a parasite is more easily discovered than a symbiote. Okay, that makes sense. However, ultimately the Changeling loves chaos. When a faction has learned to trust him, he may opt to self-destruct his secret buildings and deploy his own army, spawn rebels at the border, or plunder the settlement without ruffling too many feathers. So that's pretty cool. That's going to work sort of like the Skaven Undercities, where you can build the Warp Bomb underneath, or the Vermintide, which spawns the army. I'm going to guess that it's going to work pretty similar to that. Stealth is key, however, as making too much noise increases the risk of being discovered, and Karl Franz isn't going to be happy when he learns that Altdorf has been used as a conduit for the Changer of Ways' most perplexing prankster. The Changeling perceives the world as a series of theaters, battlegrounds of wits in which he can enact schemes that sow discord, gain rewards, open rifts, and continue onwards along the path to the grand scheme. So I wonder if this is going to... The grand scheme, I wonder if that's referring to the great game between the Chaos Gods, but I don't think so. With enough schemes enacted within a theater, perhaps by taking the form of Manfred von Karstein, and commanding his thralls to perform a ritual at Castle Drakenhof, a grand scheme becomes available. This triggers a mighty set-piece battle that, when victorious, showers the Changeling with special rewards and campaign-changing consequences. Okay, I wasn't super enthusiastic about the Changeling, but I think this sounds really, really cool. I think it's going to be really fun. The Changeling scheme doesn't just exist within the campaign layer either. Ooh, excuse me, sorry about that. He can use the resources gathered from schemes to assist in battle and throw off the opponent's strategy with wildcard spells and abilities. Take down Orion's forces as Orion himself while leveling the battlefield with Skaven Doom rockets for some unexpected destruction, or acquire Khorne's chainsword and use it against him. The Changeling simply doesn't play chess, he flips the board. So Cockatrice, okay, so it is a unit. I was thinking it was a new unit for Tzeentch, but yeah, well, I guess it is for Tzeentch, but I didn't think it was one from the Monstrous Arcanum. So drawn to magic just like the Bruce guides before them, Zongors are unusual beastmen, now serving the Lord of Change. I was really hoping we'd start to get Monogod beastmen. Their animalistic savagery combines well with their keen and cruel intellect. With axes of bone, iron, or crystal at their side, the Zongors are perfect fast flankers with a penance for a hit-and-run style of combat. Okay, so probably going to be skirmishers. Utilize their innate Vanguard deployment to quickly get into the action. Increase their weapon strength with Arcane Charge when in vicinity of magic. Okay, I'm going to guess that's sort of like the spell mastery abilities that some of the Tzeentch characters have, where the closer they are, the more powerful their magic becomes. So if they're close to magic, like a mage, I'm going to guess, they get increased weapon strength. But we'll see if I'm right or not. And then they retreat into the woods to stalk the enemy before striking once more. So the cockatrice, this is really cool. I was not expecting this. Though seldom found beyond its lair, the cockatrice is an unsettling avian beast tainted by the forces of chaos. So they actually have an ability in the lore. They can petrify enemies. They are known to be hunted by Bretonnian knights, not because they fear their strength, but rather their intelligence. Soaring through the sky as a monstrous offensive dissailer, the cockatrice uses its petrifying gaze, like I just mentioned, to slow enemies, bringing their charge to a crawl before dousing them with acidic vomit to apply heavy poison and striking with its mighty claws. How rude. Yeah, the cockatrice, I think that would be really cool. I'm wondering what the petrifying gaze is going to do besides just a slow. I wonder if it'll lower their defensive stats as well. So the Mutilex Vortex Beast. The Vortex Beast is an abomination that should not exist. A terrifying fusion of monster and magic, this creature has been mutated far beyond any justifiable reason by the forces of chaos. It is trailed by a raw ball of chaos magic that is anchored to it, warping and twisting reality wherever it steps. Its flesh is stripped from its body, sucked into the vortex atop its back before being remolded and fused back to the creature. So I wonder if that's going to be like a regeneration effect. But, yeah, what you imagine must really chafe. The battlefield changes and mutates with every step this beast takes. As a monster of raw magical destruction, the Vortex Beast uses its aura of mutation passive hex to deal direct damage over time to the area surrounding it. So it's kind of like a Mortis Engine effect. But that's not all the Vortex can do. With the gifted mutation, nearby friendly units gain increased offensive bonuses. And with the Tides of Transformation passive, the Vortex Beast can activate a matter explosion, a self-activated detonation that inflicts magical damage and severe knockback with the survivors. So I'm going to guess that's sort of like Krotgar's Itzel explosion that kind of lets them get out of the way. With the survivors suffering from disorientation, yeah. So I'm going to guess it's going to be like that ability. Oh. We'll have a more in-depth look at the mighty and inscrutable changes in the upcoming Shadows of Change showcase, so keep an eye on the official... Okay. Be showcasing the other two legendary lords over the next couple of weeks, and always there'll be a full suite of patch notes. Alright. Well, I'm really excited for Shadows of Change. I hope you guys are too. So, the page on Steam just dropped for the DLC, so that'll give us more information on units, I'm going to hope. But let's look at this. So... The Shadows of Change pack introduces 3 legendary lords for Tzeentch, Grand Cathay, and Kislev. Okay, we know about the Changeling. Okay, this is for Grand Cathay. Establish and execute grand stratagems on a global scale as Yuan Bo of Grand Cathay. Because he's like the administrator. He's the mastermind of Cathay. Conjure powerful hexes and incantations while engaging in witchcraft, flipping campaigns over their head as Mother Ostancia of Kislev. So I'm wondering, that doesn't really give us a whole lot of information on her campaign. But we know the Blue Scribes are going to do random spells. So 11 new units. Let's look at what they are. We already talked about the Changeling. So the Changeling can adopt the form of any lord he faces, making his battle efficiency grow stronger as your enemy tries to do the same. Okay, so we already know that, but when not fighting directly, he lingers in the shadows, stalking his prey and waiting for the optimal time to strike. So, okay, this is about his schemes. The Changeling, inscrutable and random nature, is the perfect recipe for schemes and trickery. For the Changeling, the world is divided into theaters. Okay, we learned about that one. So the grand schemes, I'm really curious what that's going to mean. Like, what exactly are they carried out? So with enough grand schemes carried out, the Changeling finally purposes within reach, conducting the ultimate scheme for campaign victory. Okay. That's pretty vague. That's talking about his campaign mechanics and how his victory is achieved. The Blue Scribes already know what they do. They randomize spells. Okay, so ruling over Central Cathay, Yuan Bo, the Jade Dragon, leads the court of celestial sorcerers. A bureaucrat of the highest orders on the surface, yes, but a talented spy master at heart, which we just discussed. The Jade Dragon runs the city of Weijin. Okay, so he's going to start in the northeastern part of Cathay at Weijin, hopefully. Is an administrator for the Cathay Empire, like by all the good. Okay, so sorry, this is made to think of Loker, because Loker up until now has had a pretty easy campaign. But with the Jade Dragon starting in Weijin, it's going to be a lot more difficult. Okay, he has a human and dragon form, which we know. He can be a devastating single target destroyer and a potent spellcaster with light. That's very interesting. Yin and Heaven Lords of Magic. That's very interesting that he can wield the light wind. I mean, we know that they can use all the 8 winds, but I thought the light dragon was going to be the one associated with light. Okay, control the state. So engage in a chess match unlike any other with the matters of state. As a master statesman, a right hand to the emperor, and a spy master, Yuan Bo's influence over the kingdom runs deep. With this power, enact overt and covert policies across the settlements. So maybe that's going to be sort of like Clan Eshin's, what are they called? I can't remember, but Deathmaster Snakeage's unique campaign mechanics, where he can kind of steal food from settlements. I wonder if it's going to be based on that. So with this power, enact overt and covert policies across settlements, armies, and even characters to best suit your empire's needs. Crack down on settlement corruption, rush construction for your... Oh, rush construction, so that's taken from the Chaos Stores for your entire empire in a single move. Create diplomatic deadlocks to move further through unfriendly territories and much, much more. So maybe he can do things where he gets no trespassing penalties in neutral and enemy territory. So go beyond mere balance and embrace disharmony, leveraging that as an excuse to serve more severe and extreme actions to fit your agenda. Wow, he is kind of dark, apparently. Plan chains of action to ensure the balance of harmony is pulled back in your favor when all is said and done. Yuan Bo does not follow the rules, he writes them. So I wonder if he's going to have an interesting take on harmony, because like you have Miao Ying, who is, I think, the Yin Lord, and then Zhao Ming is the Yang Lord. So I wonder if he's going to have, if he starts neutral on the harmony scale. So empower the compass. We already know that Cathay has access to the compass, but what's it going to change about it? With a plan centuries in the making under the request of Yuan Bo's father, the Jade Dragon is tasked with traveling to critical locations and constructing relays to empower the Jade Compass before defending them from the Lizardmen incursions trying to... Empower the Jade Compass before defending them from Lizardmen incursions trying to dismantle Cathay. That's really... What? Why are the Lizardmen going to Cathay? That's really, really interesting. I hope we eventually get Tic-Tac-Toe, or not Tic-Tac-Toe, Teto Echo in the southern part of Koresh, because there's a city there called the Lost City of the Old Ones, which I think would make a great starting position for him. So going on to Mother Ostankia. For years, we thought she was a child. This is like the Warhammer take on Baba Yaga. For years, we thought she was a child's tale to frighten us into behaving. Then one day in my 20th winter, I got too close to the woods, and when I was told Mother Ostankia would get you, I knew if I took one step closer to the trees, it would be true. Tales of monsters and boogeymen have haunted many lands for centuries, but the tale hanging above the Kisleite children remind of the consequences. Alright, sorry, I'm going to turn that off real fast. There we go. Sorry about that. A reminder of the consequences for displaying disobedience was not just a tale. Mother Ostankia is real, a guardian faithful to the land, holding anyone who seeks to harm it accountable. She draws her power from the very woods, fens, and oblasts that she protects. When war comes knocking, she'll be on the front lines, protecting the warriors of Kislev and inflicting her terror upon any who oppose them. And if you cross her path, make no mistake, Mother Ostankia will punish you. She's a powerful sorceress with the bespoke melee component. Wow, okay, she's actually going to be good in melee. Mother Ostankia utilizes her cauldron on and off the battlefield. I wonder if she'll get the chicken house, because that's a big thing about Baba Yaga, but maybe that's too on the nose for Games Workshop. Able to rain spirits down upon her foes from afar or sprout the legs of a spider in melee combat as an artillery chariot hybrid. Okay, so kind of like a Kugath Plaguefather, who is a artillery hybrid as well, but she'll be a chariot hybrid. So the witch's hut. Okay, the daughters of the forest must infuse Mother Ostankya's witchcraft at the witch's hut. With a new rare resource, spirit essence, you can take advantage of ingredients gathering during your playthrough to create potent incantations and utilize hexes to vastly change the course of your entire campaign. So I wonder if that's going to be like a combination of Grom the Paunch's Cauldron and then hexes. I think that's also going to be like Deathmaster Snicket's gosh, I can't remember what they're called. His sort of schemes too. But force enemy armies from your lands in an instant. Purge entire provinces of corruption in a single move. Buff your units far beyond their given capability and unleash the full might of the witch as you search for the malediction of ruin. Mother Ostankya's final hex to secure the sanctity of Kislev land. Gosh, Lev. Kislev land. Ooh. Jade Lions, I'm really excited for that. So we're talking about new units. So so this is going to talk about Kislev, or not Kislev, Tzeentch. Field an abomination with the Mutalith Vortex Beast for Tzeentch, a horrific fusion of monster and magic created by the powers of chaos beyond any justifiable reason. It brings raw magical destruction to the table with violent spectacle. One take a compass to find the new addition to the Cathayan roster. Crafted by the wizards of the Celestial Cult Guardian Lions, these are the Jade Lions, are living statues made from jet or jade. For those seeking a magical touch, the Jade Lion is a sorcerer's conduit, able to use spells bound to its body and launch flaming attacks. Okay, that's really interesting. So that's sort of like how the Skink Oracle was supposed to work in the lore for the Lizardmen, who is supposed to be basically an oracle and a conduit for the Slann. The Jet Lion, however, is the opposite, countering magical spells to diminish any sorcery that may harm themselves or those nearby. So sort of like the Anvils of Doom, where they cause miscast chance, I'm going to guess. Plus, new Kislev units lurk in these woods. A terrible and frightening creature known to many as the Thing in the Woods, so I'm going to guess this is the Leshy, bring its enormous size and infantry sundering ability to the frontlines of Kislev. Left unchecked, this beast will tear through enemy troops like paper before rushing into the woods for cover and emerging to do it all over again. Ooh, and of course, further horror waits within the shadows of change. Okay, so they're not going to talk about all the units, but kind of like the centerpiece units, we have the cockatrice right here. We have the war drum. They didn't talk about that yet, but that was mentioned in the short story. Got the, what are they called again? Guardian Lions. Okay, so the Jade Lions, the Guardian Lions. And that big great hammer Cathay looked like a melee hero instead of a new unit. So that would be good because Cathay really needs a melee hero. But I think that about covers it. We've talked about the trailer, we've talked about the blog, and now we've looked at Steam. I'm really excited. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm Warhammer, and I'll see you guys next time.